I am they were from Dr. Basu Eye Hospital, a center connected with Operation Bravery, Pepper in Yamni Innovation LLP Varana. Yamni Innovation believes that healthy society is the growth engine of India. We care the health of human, animal, soil, and environment. Knowledge generation and innovation is our USP. Homeopathy is the molecular biophysics of the microdose, elucidating homeopathic principles via molecular mechanism or nanotechnology. Homeopathic vital force is defined as natural defense power called immunity. Homeopathic contributed immunity to modern therapy. Ayurvedic therapy contribution is surgery to modern science. Ayush is the system, medical system with a holistic therapy. A health care as a whole is relatively a recent trend and it deals with physical, mental, and spiritual health of the people in corona pandemic. Since Ayush medicines are not well
Hello,
standardized
Abhijit.
as WHO standards, so the Ayush system of medicine and
Can you
its
hear me?
formulation have not been accepted as a health system. In most of the developed
सर
countries,
आवाज आ रही
the
है।
Therapy has taken it in mission mode to help them for their drug testing at low cost. Since these approaches are not well established on scientific basis, so the Yamni Innovation LLP has taken a responsibility of clinical and experimental research on these aspects. The large data collected will be by artificial intelligence develop apps for various health related issues. This is why even the educated Indian population is hesitant in using these medicines, though they have high respect for this system. Ayush system therapy, according to Yamni Innovation LLP, intracellular fluid ICF and extracellular fluid ECF occupies the total body water. ICF is rich in potassium, whereas ECF is rich in sodium and chlorine. Acute changes in total body can be detected simply by body weight. These sodium, potassium pump regulate body immunity or ADME, absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion of toxicity. Enhanced permeability and retention is the most modern nanotechnology, evidence-based Ayurvedic eye drop ISOT is nanotechnology based targeting strategy. It is controversial concept that improve delivery of drug and improve vision within few minutes. May I take the privilege to introduce our most fascinating, intelligent, and interesting speaker, Assistant Professor Dr. Ashish Kumar Agarwal from Pharmaceutical Engineering and Technology, IIT BHU, author of Nanotechnology Application for Cancer Chemotherapy. Assistant Professor Dr. Ashish Kumar Agarwal, please. Topic: Drug Delivery System in Ayush Management, Education, Research, Innovation.
A very good afternoon to all. So I would like to thank first Professor Krishna, Dr. Krishna Deva for inviting me for sharing my research work with you guys under this, the Ayush management and the drug delivery system. So basically, I have done my PhD from NIPA Mohali, and after doing my PhD, I was there in the University of Louisville, Kentucky, USA for more than 4 years. And then I joined the IIT BHU 3-4 years back. So my area working is the nanomedicine. So we will start our presentation or the today's talk on the nanomedicine. So probably the screen must be visible to you guys. So the topic you can see, the nanomedicine, a nanobay to treat ailment. So the point which you guys should note, like I have this the nanomedicine, the topic I have written in the green color. So the green color which represents the nature. That is the today's topic, that is Ayush. So that's why I have taken this as a green color. So basically this concept, the nanomedicine, it also came from the nature only. Because if you see in the nature, even the human body or the other species which are present in the nature, there are many things which are nano in size. So if you see that the bacteriophage or the viruses, which is the nano size, the corona, which was the recent story. So it just made a history in the human history. And we had so many, even if we see the nature. So in the nature, we have the solutions, many solutions in the nano form. The one example is the bacteriophage, which are the viruses, which kills the bacteria. So the bacteria as well as the viruses, they are the nano. Even if we see our human body, the cells, the different organelles, the small things, they are nano. So the today's topic, I have covered some of the formulation strategies which we discovered from nature only, some biological nanoparticles which are already present in nature, and how these nanoparticles can be used to deliver the drugs. Either they are the allopathic drugs or they are the natural compounds, and how these systems can be used to improve the efficacy of the different drug molecules. So I have made this presentation very small because I was not aware that what kind of audience I will have during this presentation. So, but I will be happy to discuss whatever the concerns you guys have. You can stop even in between, because I would like to have it more and more interactive. So we will start first. In the next slide, I have done that exactly how much dose exactly we need to treat any disease in the body. So if you see, so I have the mathematical calculation. So if you see, so we have around 10 to the power 13 cells in our body. And if we assume that one drug molecule is sufficient enough to kill the one cell, it means if we want to kill all the cells in our body, so we need only 10 to the power 13 of the molecule. So if we just use the some more calculations, so if we just convert this number into the moles, so we know that the Avogadro number, 1 mole is equal to the this much of number of the molecules. And if we convert that, how much moles will be there in 10 to the power 13th of molecules, it will come up like the 0.16 into 10 to the minus 10 moles, which are needed to kill all the cells. So if we arbitrarily consider the molecular weight of the drug to be the 1000, the Dalton, although this is not the case, because most of the chemical compounds or the drugs which we use in the allopathy or even in the Ayurveda, the molecular weight of those compounds is hardly 500 to 700 range. And generally the high molecular weight, if we just consider the biologics, in case of the biologics only, these things goes up. Otherwise, we can consider, if we just consider the average molecular weight 1000, then calculate that how much of the amount of the drug which is required. So if we just multiply the molecular weight with the moles, so this is the total amount, that is the 16.6 nanograms, which is needed in all the cells which are present in our body. Now you assume that out of 10 to the power 13 cells, how many infected cells we have in any of the disease conditions. Definitely the disease cells or the cells which are infected, they are very less, and we are just flooding our body with lots of molecules, with lots of drugs, which is exactly not needed. So what can be done? So why this is happening? So the question is, do we really require the milligram or the gram of the quantity of the drug to kill even the much lesser number of the cells which are infected inside the body? So I have one picture here. So definitely, so why I have included this picture in this presentation. I have another picture also. So can we see any similarity between the nano formulations and between these two pictures? Yeah, definitely. Because so in the first picture, if we see here, first picture, here we can see the normal drugs. Whenever these drugs are taken inside the body, so these drugs they distribute in the body throughout the body. So the every part of the body, these drugs will reach. Either the cells are infected or that body organ is infected or not. But at the same time, what nanotechnology based approaches do, so they deliver the drug where exactly it is needed. So the technology, so I will end up with this slide, that the technology is effective only when it reaches to those who really need it. So in case of the ailment, so the drug which is needed by the infected cells, and the technology which can be used to deliver the drug molecules or the drug to the infected cells is the nanotechnology. So in this slide, so I have covered a variety of the nanotechnology based approaches which are currently being used. Some of them are already FDA approved, already in the market, and they have shown the excellent potential. And this slide looks busy, but here with the slide, the ultimate the message which I want to deliver, or which I want to convey, is whenever we just consider the free drug. So whenever we consider the free drug, so they goes inside the body just by the simple mechanism which is diffuser. While if we just compare the free drug with other nano systems, the nanotechnology based approaches, they have multiple approaches to be uptaken by the cells in the intestine or the other cellular surfaces. So if we see that even the nature also has designed the body or the cells, that it has the multiple of the mechanism by which the nano formulations or the nanotechnology based systems, they can be taken up by the cells in a better way, and so that the drug, it can be reached to the particular affected area in a good concentration. So by this slide, if we see that what are the different advantages of the nanotechnology based system. So basically, if you see that many of the Ayurvedic systems, or the many of the compounds, allopathic drugs, they are not deliverable, or they don't show the required effect, and this is because of the poor solubility of the drug molecule. So the nanotechnology based approaches, they can be used to improve the solubility of the poorly soluble drugs. Another thing, which is the half-life and the dosing frequency. So basically, the half-life is the life or the time span which a drug molecule takes to reduce to its 50% of the concentration. So it directly reflects that if you are giving a drug to a human or to a patient, for how much time that drug will be effective for that patient. So nanotechnology based approaches, so they increase the half-life by reducing the metabolism of the drug. That's why reduce the dosing frequency. They also reduce toxicity. they can improve the permeability as well as the tension. So the permeability, as I had in the previous slide, that the normal drug molecules, they only show the diffusion based permeability, while the nano formulations, because they have a different mechanism to be uptaken inside the body, so that's why they improve the permeability. And the another point is the retention. Retention, where after uptaken from the particular cell, these the nanotechnology based systems, they keep they stayed in the affected area for longer period of time. They impart the stability at the different physiological conditions. So it means, like, whenever if, you must whenever we take something orally, so we have a different pH conditions or different the environment, and that environment is also sometimes degrading for the molecules which are taken orally. So the stomach, we can see that the pH is very less, even it goes up to 1.2. So in that pH, even the molecules, they can be degraded very easily. Then it goes to the small intestine, the pH is different. It goes to the blood, the pH is different. So because of the different pH conditions, they may be affected, the stability may be affected. While the nanotechnology based approaches, they protect the molecules just because the molecules are entrapped with inside the system, and that's why they impart the stability of the drug molecules, whatever we are delivering by using the nanotechnology based approaches. Targeted drug delivery. So whenever we want to target a particular organ, so the nanotechnology based approaches can be used. So this concept is also used as a functionalized nanocarriers. So in which what we do that whatever the system we have, so in that system that can be decorated with a particular ligands, so that those ligands, because of this is not functionalized, so this can deliver the drug molecules to the affected organs, because affected organs, they have the receptor which are overexpressed inside the in that particular organ. Nanotechnology based approaches, they can also be used for the diagnostic and the imaging. So I have lots of the practical examples in the coming slides, which we with the data which we generated in the animals or the in vitro the cell lines. So so this is one very interesting example which is made by the mother nature. So this is called the exosomes. So my area, we have used the exosomes for the cancer therapeutics. So why the exosomes are interesting? So if you see that we have a language to communicate with each other, so that may be Hindi, that may be English, or that may be other languages. Similarly, body also communicate, or the body cells also communicate with each other, and that is the form, the exosomes is the carrier which carry the information from one cell to another cell. So you see that how the mother nature has designed this system very nicely. So this system is rich by the different mRNAs, miRNAs, DNA, different proteins, the lipids. So there are so many thousands of systems are there inside the exosomes, and they have that particular information whenever they are secreted by particular cell, and then they reach to the another cell, and they carry the information whatever the one cell wants to convey to the another cell. So we thought, like, this is really a nice system, exosomes. Can't we use this system as the platform, so that we can just use it as a vehicle? We can load it with the cancer molecules, whatever we have, and whenever it is going to a particular cell or the cancer cell, so that it will also carry that the cancer or the anti-cancer agent to that particular cell, so that it will show the anti-cancer effect to that cancer cell. So this was the concept. So we came up with so this is the idea here. So this is the exosomes. So what we did, we loaded the exosomes with the drug. So we have the lots of examples, lots of the Ayush drugs, like the lots of the herbal products, like the extracts we loaded, as well as we loaded many of the FDA approved drugs, and we found that these carriers can be used very nicely to develop these the delivery system. As well as, so after loading the drug, we also had the tumor targeting ligands, which were just attached to the exosome surface, so that whenever these because the tumors, they have a particular receptor for those the ligands overexpressed, so that the maximum amount of the exosomes which are functionalized by the tumor targeting ligands, they will reach to the particular site, that is the tumor cells. So that was the concept behind designing the system. So we thought like and the beauty of this system is, the as I told earlier, that the exosomes, they are secreted by the cells. It means cells are everywhere. Even the plants, they also have the cells. All the animals, they have the cells. Our human body, we have the cells. So whenever the cells, they want to communicate with the other cells, they have to secrete some information in the form of the vesicles. These vesicles, which are called exosomes. So we thought, why if these this is the nature, nature have designed them for the delivery of some information. So these exosomes, they must be present even in the cow milk. So we found that yes, the exosomes, they were present even in the cow milk, and particularly we use the cow milk because the cow milk has been used in the Indian culture since thousands of years, and we have used it like amrit. Whenever we will use it for many of the diseases, we have used the cow milk. So we thought definitely the cow milk, it must be having something which is having very even the anti-cancer effects as well. So we found that after the processing, so we had the different process, so which I am not covering here in this presentation. So we just processed the cow milk, and we found that yes, the cow milk is very much abundant in the exosomes. So this is the practical observation here. So when we processed, and after processing by using the technology, we found that yes, the nanoparticles in the range of 100 to 150 nanometer range. So we had very nice particles even in the cow milks. And when we inquired more about these particles, then we found yes, these particles are very much rich with the different proteins. These are very much rich with the lipids, and these have so many miRNAs, all the parameters. So we found, like, we confirmed, like, these are the particles which are responsible for the communication between one cell to another cell. And one more example here, like the newborn baby, they get their first immunity from the mother by using the milk only. So it means that milk, whatever the baby is consuming, so that milk must have something which is ready to communicate to the baby's cell that, okay, you will get the immunity after consuming this milk. And those are the exosomes, which really carry that the different immunoglobulins, which are nicely packed within these the vesicles. And whenever they are delivered, or whenever it is consumed by the baby or the newborn baby, it goes inside the blood, and then it provides the immunity. So that is the long process how it works. So here I have used this that how this we have used or we have found the practical the difference when we used in the mice. So we induced the tumor in the mice, and you can see, so we have different groups. So this is the vehicle where the mice, the tumors were inoculated in the mice, and these mice did not get anything, or either they got the simple water and food, whatever the general patients generally gets. In another group, we provided the exosomes alone without loading the drug molecule. We had one drug, that is the paclitaxel. So it is written here as a pack, which was given at the 4 mg per kg dose to the mice. So this drug is FDA approved for the many of the cancers. Then we loaded the paclitaxel to the exosomes, and we had the exopac even at the higher the half of the dose, paclitaxel the similar dose, that is the 4 mg per kg. To see that to the mice, they were able to reduce the cancer in the mice. So this form actually our probably Rishi Munis, I will call them scientists only, because I think they found it thousands years ago that why we should consume the cow milk, because the cow milk is very rich in the exosomes, and if we consume the cow milk, that the cow milk itself, consuming the cow milk itself is able to prevent the cancer. Then if we use it with the chemotherapeutic molecules, even the effect is even more significant, and we can see here. Similarly, we used, so this is the another molecule. So here we use the paclitaxel, which is again the natural molecule. Initially, it was the extracted from the plants only. And this was first discovered by the Indian scientists only. So we had another molecule, that is the bidaferin A, which is extracted from the ashwagandha plant. And we found the similarly whenever so this is the vehicle, which is the control group, where the exo-alones, again the second group, here the WFA alone was given, and when this WFA, the bidaferin, it was bidaferin, it was loaded to the exosomes. So here we can see that again, whatever the observations we got at the time of the exopaclitaxel, the similar observations we also got at the time of the WFA as well. So the exosomes alone, they were able to reduce the tumor volume in comparison to the control. And similarly, whenever the WFA was given alone or the WFA was loaded to the exosomes, so they were able to reduce even the tumor volume much higher. So this is one more observation where the animals were directly injected the exosomes with the imaging dye, so that the animals can be imaged that how the drug or how the system, the exosomes, it is circulating inside the body. So you can see here the difference. So whenever we had the free dye, which was there was no exosomes, the distribution of those dye was very limited to a particular area of the body. But when we had the exosomes, so this were circulating throughout the body. So it simply means that the exosomes, whenever the dye was loaded to exosomes, so those exosomes, which is the biological nanoparticles, which is made by Mother Nature, so they are able to carry the loaded dye to throughout the body. So this is again, so when after the experiments, when these animals were dissected and when the different organs were collected to see that how the organ label it is showing. So we were surprised to see that when the exosomes, when the dye was loaded to exosomes and whenever it was functionalized with different targeting ligands. So because this was a tumor study, so we were surprised to see that the concentration of the exosomes which reached to the tumor site, it was significantly higher if we compare with the free drug. Loaded drug. So even we can see that the functionality or the targetability of the nanotechnology systems, it can also be improved if we just decorate their surface with the targeting ligands. So this was the one practical observation which we used for the oral delivery of the exosomes. So similarly, we had another observation where we had one more the nanotechnology based system, and that system we applied on the skin. So we wanted to see whether the nanotechnology based, if we use that nanotechnology based system, whether those nanotechnology based systems are able to provide a better penetration inside the skin. And then we were very surprised, or we were happy to see that yes, whatever the system we are designing, even so this the upper column, you can see the upper row. So this is the normal dye or the normal drug which is applied on the skin, and the lower portion is the formulation, that is the nanotechnology based formulation which we applied. And you can see the depth nanotechnology based systems are reaching inside the skin, which clearly reflect that if we use the nanotechnology based system, then definitely we can improve the penetration, we can improve the retention of the drug at the particular affected area for longer period of time. So in one more delivery system, we used this non-viral vector, which we used for the delivery of the biological molecules like the plasmid DNA or the RNA. So here we used the cationic vector. We made the cationic vector. So whenever we deliver them, even for the coronavirus, the Pfizer vaccine, whatever it is developed, that is also the mRNA-based vaccine. So that is also the current trend, like for the many of the diseases now, the biological system or the mRNA or plasmid DNA, they are being used for the better treatment. So, but the problem with these systems, they cannot be delivered directly. If they are delivered directly, so they need some protection, because as I told when we were talking, so biological system is very robust system. So whenever something goes into the biology, it has multiple of mechanisms to prevent from the out. Consider it as an outsider, and it will degrade and it will just excrete from the body. So it needs some kind of system. So we developed a cationic vector so that the biological, the molecules, the plasmid DNA, it can be entered inside the vector, and so that it can be delivered even the nucleus inside the cell. So this is the small mechanism how these vectors behaves. So they can be either, because these are the lipids, they can fuse themselves with the natural lipids which are available inside the body, and then they can deliver the DNA in the cytoplasm in the cell. Otherwise, they may form the endosome, and then they can free the entrapped plasmid DNA, and then it can go to the nucleus. So this is one more observation that we found, that so we wanted to see practically whether whatever the system, the nanotechnology based system we have designed, this system is able to deliver the plasmid DNA to the nucleus. So this is one of the study where you can see that the cells, the green colors. So this indicates that the cells, there was a quite quantitatively higher uptake by the cells of these vectors. These red colors, this indicates the staining of the nucleus, and whenever something is going inside the nucleus, it will change its color. So this is the plasmid. So in the second here the image, you can see the change to the blue and the pink color. So it shows like whatever the system we developed, it is going inside the cell, it is going inside the nucleus, and it is delivering the plasmid DNA to that particular area, to that target. We had the imaging of the tumors. So we injected our system to the animals, and because we wanted to see whether the whatever the nano system we have developed, whether it is able to deliver or it is able to express the gene inside at the target site. So when we had the naked DNA, there was no fluorescence, which simply indicate when we injected the naked DNA, it was not able to go at all to the target site. But when we had the final system, it reaches to the tumor site at very good concentration. It means definitely it can be used to improve the efficacy of that particular system. So so these are some of the examples which we found. So this is another example where we had again the lipid based system, and we wanted to see whether the functionalization or the can be used to improve the uptake of these system inside the body. So we used the folic acid, because our body has expressed some of the receptors like folic acid, to use them or to get them from the food. So the similar concept we used, like because body has those receptors, why can't we use the ligands folic acid so that it can recognize, it can be uptaken by those receptor inside the body. So the same thing happened. So here we can see, in comparison to control, we had a much higher uptake inside the body when we used or when we did the folic acid modification. So this is the quantitative data, and we found that almost threefold higher the cellular uptake we found when we have the functionalization of the folic acid with our the delivery system. nano system. This is again interesting data with the same system. So we instead of using the cellular system, in vitro system, now we did the in vivo, that is on the animals only. So here you can see that this is the images where the normal drug was given, and this is the thing where the drug was given in the folic acid functionalized the lipid based system. We can see here the normal drug which was not able to penetrate or to be uptaken by the intestine, while when we had a system which was functionalized, so it was nicely uptaken by the body, and it was so which is clearly indicated the much higher fluorescence in comparison with the control. So these are the some of the practical experiences which I have seen. I think like we have lost our knowledge because our the Rishi Munis and our the Ayurveda practitioners, they already knew it, the nanotechnology based approaches, because all the Swarna Bhasma, all the Rajat Bhasma, everything is nano. So I think we are starting again to go back to our roots, and probably these are the some practical things which we are trying to find, that whatever the system we had in India previously in the form of Ayurveda, that was the best system, and that can be best, or that can be the scientifically proved if we use the currently available the technology. So that's all actually I wanted to share today, and there is long way to go. This is just starting. So so we can now just have a discussion if you have if participants have any concerns or they want to know much about the presentation.
So, thank you very much, Ashish ji. I have a question.
Yes,
Can I ask? Yeah.
Yes.
It was a very nice presentation, and you rightly said that our Rishis Munis had this concept and they were practicing it. But now we have to validate it by experimental tools. And I think you are the right person to help us for the Ayurvedic research.
Yeah.
But I have a question that the imaging system which you have shown, is it available in your department now, or it is available outside the IIT BHU or BHU?
Actually, now this imaging system we have installed in our department, not in IIT. Actually, we have an imaging system in our department.
Okay, so you mean that the topical application which you showed by the Lerozomes, can we do it here?
Yeah, actually, that whatever the topical application we did, so that was the old data which was generated in NIPER. But whatever the instruments which are used to, or the technical tools, they are also available in the BHU. So that was done by using the confocal laser scanning microscopy, that is CLSM, which is available in the BHU. The animal imager, which is available in IIT BHU in my department, as well as so many other systems are there which are available in the BHU in the different departments.
So for example, that most of our compounds are having the flavones, but how the flavone can be like the pharmacokinetics of the flavones, if we have made the nanoparticle, will it can it be monitored now?
Monitoring, actually, for the pharmacokinetic, the best way is to quantify them. So quantification can be done in terms of pharmacokinetics. So the blood samples can be taken timely, and we can see that how the molecule, the flavones, they are reaching to the blood and how they are getting cleared from the blood. So that is the best.
I'm asking, can it be tagged by some dye, fluorescent dye?
Yeah, that is doable.
Yeah.
That is doable.
Then it will be easy for us to do it, because the fluorescent technology. Because otherwise, we are going for HPLC, which is more time-consuming and expensive. But the fluorescent dye, the spectrophotometry can be done easily.
Yes. That is doable.
So at present, you have this facility with you, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's very good. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other question from any side? सुदेव जी, नो क्वेश्चन?
नो क्वेश्चन। आप लोगों ने एंजॉय किया होगा।
यस, एक्सेलेंट, थैंक्स टू आशीष जी।
सर बहुत अच्छा आशीष सर ने समझाया। मैं कुणाल बोल रहा हूँ सर, बिहार से।
हाँ बोलिए। हाँ
और वो एक बार खाली वो जो काउ मिल्क के बारे में उन्होंने कहा कि इट कैन स्टॉप स्प्रेडिंग कैंसर, थोड़ा सा एक बार उसको समझा देते। और
ओके, ओवर टू आशीष।
हाँ कुणाल जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। जो काउ मिल्क के बारे में मैंने आपको बोला, उसमें
जी।
हम लोगों ने जो हमारा जो प्रैक्टिकल ऑब्जर्वेशन है वो ये है कि काउ मिल्क में, जैसे मैंने बताया कि जो एक्सोसोम्स, जो मैंने टेक्निकल टर्म यूज किया एक्सोसोम्स, तो बेसिकली एक्सोसोम्स आर द बायोलॉजिकल नैनो पार्टिकल्स which are secreted by every cells inside the body. Similarly, the cow milk also has cow milk also very rich in exosomes, and those exosomes they have even the indigenous anti-cancer property. So even if you don't load any the drug molecule to the exosomes itself can be used to cure the cancer, or even if you just you can use as a nutritional supplement as well to prevent the cancer. जैसे एक तो कीमोथेरेपेटिक हो सकता है, या फिर उसको कीमो प्रिवेंटिव की तरह उसको आप काम में ले सकते हो फॉरएवर, हमेशा के लिए।
जी जी।
And
Thank you,
if
sir.
if you are in the field of the drug delivery, so those the exosomes they can be isolated and they can be used or they can be tested for even for many indications. Like यदि हम अपने लिटरेचर में देखेंगे, आयुर्वेदा में देखेंगे, तो we will found कि काऊ के जो दूसरे जितने भी secretions हैं, even the urine भी बहुत सारी एंटी कैंसर है, बहुत सारी प्रॉपर्टीज के लिए reported, and exactly we don't know what exactly that urine or the milk they have additionally exosomes. Okay, whatever the biological tools we had, by using those tools we were able to find that these have the anti-cancer properties. But even that cow, I don't know, even that exosomes, even they may have even the thousands of other properties which we don't know. Even the exosomes which you can isolate from the cow urine, and they can have thousands of other properties as well.
100% सर।
Yeah.
जैसे भी इम्यूनोथेरेपी चल रहा है, केमोथेरेपी की जगह में आप हाल में देखेंगे तो इम्यूनोथेरेपी जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा प्रसार में आ रहा है, लोग यूज कर रहे हैं और रिजल्ट भी मिल रहा है
जी।
तो जहां तक मेरी समझ है सर कि इम्यूनोथेरेपी मतलब आपके इम्यून सिस्टम को और मजबूत करना, सो दैट दे कैन ओवरकम द कैंसर।
जी।
तो उस इम्यून को पहले से भी, मतलब बीमार हो ही नहीं आदमी, तो उसको तो पहले से भी बढ़ा के रखा जा सकता है कि आदमी को कैंसर हो ही नहीं।
जी।
उसमें कॉ मिल्क, गिलोय, जो भी चीजें हैं जो हमारे इम्यून सिस्टम को मजबूत करती हैं, तो उसमें भी इसको यूज किया जा सकता है।
जी बिल्कुल।
क्या मैं सही हूँ?
जी बिल्कुल सही है आप। मैंने यही बोला था कि मैंने जो 2 टर्म काम में ली थी, एक तो मैंने लिया था कीमोथेरेपेटिक और दूसरा टर्म काम में लिया था कीमो प्रिवेंटिव। तो कीमो प्रिवेंटिव इज व्हेन यू स्टार्ट टेकिंग और कंज्यूमिंग द काउ मिल्क, इवन दैट कैन हेल्प यू टू इंप्रूव योर इम्यूनिटी, सो दैट इवन द कैंसर और द अदर डिजीजेस दे विल नॉट कैच यू।
यस यस, थैंक यू सर, समझ गया।
थैंक यू कुणाल जी, थैंक यू।
अपने इस कुणाल जी, मैं इस पॉइंट पर एक बात कहना चाह रहा था कि जहां तक इन्होंने कहा केमोथेरेपी, केमो प्रिवेंटिव, तो इसमें मुझे ये दिखता है कि जैसे आयुष की जो मेडिसिन हैं, आयुष की जैसे मेडिसिन हैं, जैसे एक डॉक्टर हमारे महेंद्र सिंह बासु की जो मेडिसिन है आइसोटीन, है ना, तो ये आंखों में आई ड्रॉप देने से क्या कहते हैं कि प्रिवेंशन का भी काम करता है, विजन को इम्प्रूव भी करता है। ऐसे बहुत से आयुष की मेडिसिन हैं जो बॉडी के अंदर जा करके बॉडी की इम्यूनिटी राइज करती है। ये ज्ञान मुझे जहां तक पता है ये होम्योपैथी से आया है, मॉलिक्यूलर साइंस में, है ना। और ये बात मैंने अपने इंट्रोडक्शन के समय कहा था कि इम्यूनिटी जो दिया गया है, इम्यूनिटी इज द माने इनबिल्ट ऑफ द बॉडी सिस्टम। उसके लिए मैंने अभी आपके सामने पोटेशियम और सोडियम पंप के बारे में बताया, है ना। तो ये है। अब आपके सामने आ रहे हैं अश्विनी पांडे, आयुर्वेद से हैं, है ना, और वो आपके साथ वो नाड़ी परीक्षण के बारे में। ये अपने बनारस के बहुत अच्छे प्रसिद्ध वैद्य हैं, इनका नाम है वैद्य सुशील दुबे, और ये प्रकृति के अनुसार नाड़ी परीक्षण, चिकित्सा एवं आहार विहार पर आपसे चर्चा करेंगे। ओवर टू प्रोफेसर सुशील दुबे।
हाँ, प्रणाम आप सभी लोगों को, एंड थैंक्स टू कृष्णदेव जी। स्पेशल थैंक्स यामिनी इनोवेशन सेंटर। जो यामिनी इनोवेशन का अभी 2 साल पहले एक परिकल्पना बनाया गया और तत्पश्चात आज क्रियान्वयन के रूप में एक दिखने लगा, तो शायद आयुर्वेदा में आज की आवश्यकता थी कि जो हमारा एक लैब, मतलब गवर्नमेंट की लैब तो थी ही यहाँ पे, परंतु प्राइवेट लैब में भी इथिकल क्लियरेंस आदि की व्यवस्था हो, ऐसा भी शायद पूर्वांचल में नहीं था कहीं पे भी। इस चूंकि साइंटिस्ट प्रोफेसर यामिनी भूषण त्रिपाठी, आप 2% पूरे वर्ल्ड के साइंटिस्ट में आपका नाम अभी घोषित किया गया। और फिर यह हुआ कि जब तक आयुर्वेद, विज्ञान और टेक्नोलॉजी को एक साथ मिलाएंगे नहीं, तब तक कभी भी आयुर्वेद की स्थापना पूरे वर्ल्ड में नहीं हो सकती। इसी विधा पे और जितना जल्दी ये हम लोग स्टार्ट किए, आज स्थापित हुआ और आज हमें एक बोलने के लिए यहाँ मौका दिया गया, तो सबसे पहले आयोजन समिति को धन्यवाद। मेरा टॉपिक आज का जो है
सुशील सर,
प्रकृति। हाँ
सॉरी आपको डिस्टर्ब करने के लिए। एक्चुअली ये दूसरा मीटिंग करने को बोल रहा है, तो हम जस्ट अभी दूसरा मीटिंग इसको स्टार्ट करके हम तुरंत वापस आते हैं। ओके सर?
ओके।